Freaking out, man. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men in power want? More power.
My name is luca-zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcast, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom. Here we go, guys and girls. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna on 1340 AM and also 104.1 FM. Another Sunday, another show. Let me tell you something. Today's going to be an interesting show and also a little different show because I'm in the middle of different things and I don't feel that well. So I will just pretty much do the first hour as a new edition. Then the second, third hour will be a rebroadcast. But I have to bring some very breaking news in this first hour. First of all, you heard about Mr. Ronald O'Donnell, one of my first listeners. Democrat, or at least is a former Democrat Party member, who also ran for the state as a senator for the state of California. And interesting news, he had all the party against him because during the elections, especially the last elections, the presidential elections, he could not vote for Hillary Clinton. And we had this conversation on the show, for at least 2 years, 3 years, talking about really what this woman, regardless the party affiliation, this is not about party anymore. It's about what is right and what is wrong, what she's done and what she's doing wrong for our country. And also my opinion, it is not just some sort of ethical things. It's also about illegal things. How can you vote for an alleged criminal? So my point is, Ronald O'Donnell, he was probably the only elected Democrat, in my opinion, who really went public and said no. During the final, general elections, presidential elections, I will not support Hillary Clinton. And if I have to, I will also vote for Donald Trump. That's the bottom line. He had all these party members and all the Central Party Committee and everything they could imagine. They tried to throw him out. They tried to arrest him. It was, for me, really a great example that we must put the truth and what is right before any party allegiance. Now, second part of the show, I will go briefly about something that it was reported on the newspaper, or at least the Standard paper, just a few days ago. It's about former sheriff candidate, Mohave County Sheriff candidate, Cori Merryman. This is very important because, as you really well know, I try always the best way I can to put the truth before my personal friendship. This is not about friendship. When you come on the show, I talk about facts. Doesn't mean that I have an agenda. Doesn't mean that I try to attack anybody. I feel sorry even when I had to bring facts about people that normally I don't like. Because if the facts are said, I don't like to share those facts. But these are the facts. Now, in my opinion, what's happening here with Mr. Merryman, you will listen after this short interview we have with Mr. O'Donnell. Ronald is here. So I want to first talk to Ronald, so don't go away. After we will talk about this article that, according to the attorney of Mrs. Merryman, according to the attorney, this standard says Merryman will plead guilty. We don't know exactly of what, and I don't even know if that's true, but we'll figure it out. So first of all, let me get my friend Ronald O'Donnell. Ronald, are you here?
Yes, I am. Zanna, I like to call you Zanna.
Call me Zanna.
Because you go on the computer, you hit Z, and everything about your company and everything comes up, and the coffee and the records and the songs that you did. When you just type in Zanna, bam. You go under Luca and you have to search and search and search. But I just go on and I hit ZANNA, hit it, search, bam, there it goes on your website. So that's why I always say Zanna. But how are you doing, Luca?
I'm okay.
Wonderful day here in the desert. This is the weather that I love the desert for.
Yes, it's true. What I like about also of this time of the year, that everything seems a little bit calmer. Of course, that never really happens, always busy. But, it seems like when the weather is nice, everything seems a little more doable. And even they think it seems more, you know, I don't know, summertime sometimes it's so harsh that you really try to survive. Here you enjoy life. It's something that you can at least relax for a moment. You know, I wish I could, but at least when you can, enjoy the weather. Is beautiful. Now, what is really beautiful, so I like the fact that me and you, we've been on this show almost since the beginning. You were one of my first callers, I guess. And I tell you, one thing, I'm very proud of the show. You know, even with my limitations, you know, sometimes I make mistakes. I understand. I'm a human being. But one thing we always try on the show is to bring at least facts, regardless our personal beliefs or personal opinions or personal political affiliation. We try to bring you the facts, the things that we believe are the facts or the truth. Now, we're talking about, for example, you are the example. I mean, you are a 50, I mean, you've been in the Democratic Party, I guess, since you were a kid, okay? For 50 years, you've been part of the Democratic Party. And you were one of the few Democrat people who I really respect, who really had the courage to stand up for the facts, stand up for the truth, and publicly denounce the crimes of not just Hillary Clinton, but also the misconduct and the new policies and the new type of completely un-American, in my opinion, form of beliefs of the Democratic Party that is destroying, in my opinion, the sovereignty of America. So I give you so much respect for that.
Well, thank you for that, Luca. I really appreciate your sentiments.
It is true. I mean, it's true. But unfortunately, you know, in the same way, you know, when I see people like on the Republican Party, that they finally, you know, start to wake up and say, hey, wait a second, not because Bush as they are, it means that he did everything right. Honestly, he was a criminal, in my opinion. He was a war criminal. But I wish more people from both sides, they stop following the party and start to following the truth, at least what really looks like what is right and what is wrong. So let's talk a little bit about Hillary Clinton, because you were one of the, probably the only Democrat I ever heard bringing up the facts, starting from Benghazi. I mean, you were Benghazi, non-stop, and the 30,000 emails. And then, of course, you were talking about the uranium one before any other body out there was talking about it. So the point is, you were doing something that it's unbelievable, especially when you were running for state senate in the Democratic Party. You had all the Central Committee against you, and they pretty much put you in the corner. They didn't want even to get you close to the party. I mean, you were amazing what you did. And I hope now some of these people that they were throwing tomatoes at you and tried to make you, you know, almost look like a crazy man, now they should give you a big apology, because all the things we were talking on the show, they are true, or at least there is enough material to be investigated and criminally charged, in my opinion. What do you think?
Well, facts are facts, and, you know, on this show, we only are allowed or permitted to state the truth according to the role of Zanna. And I never came on here and said anything other than the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Now,
Ronald, you know, sometimes we may believe that our truth is true, but sometimes we may also be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm the first one to say. But my point is, you know, you were saying things that there were already there as a records. The 30,000 emails and all these lies under oath, and the investigation that never really happened with the FBI director about Hillary Clinton. And, of course, Benghazi, that we know that it's, in my opinion, was one of the biggest crimes perpetrated by the Obama administration against our people. And more important now, the uranium one. We have all the information. Look at the latest few days ago. What is her name? Mrs. Brazile, the black lady. I forgot her first name.
Donna Brazile.
Yeah, go ahead with that.
I wanted to just say something about her character.
Yes.
Okay. Donna Brazile, I'm going to be real careful the way I state this.
Yes.
I have to be. I respect her, so I hope I don't say anything out of line that'll show anything other than what I feel in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
But what I see is a woman, a black woman, that has struggled to achieve in a society a goal to crack the glass ceiling as a black person. And she, I believe in my heart, was forced to compromise here and compromise there because she was entering a world a power world dominated by white males.
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. You know, I'll finish, then I'll tell you what I think. I don't think it's about the white males. I think it's about she was entering a world dominated by the mafia, the Clinton's mafia. That's what I believe.
But just a moment.
Go ahead.
Never forget that Hillary Clinton's husband started the Arkansas mob.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is Hillary's, Bill Clinton's, well, let's call it shill. Bill Clinton is the guy that started all this in Arkansas, all the way back to the Mena Airport, where him and his partner, Herbert Walker, H.W. Bush, imported the cocaine right out of Colombia. And Mena Airport, Google it, anybody, MENA, it's in Mena, Arkansas. And there's videos and films on it. They ran the cocaine industry all the way back in the 70s. And that's how he became Attorney General of Arkansas. And then he went on to become president. And Hillary went along with it the whole entire time. So when I say Donna Brazile, we were talking about, right, walked into a world that she wasn't involved in and wasn't permitted access to, and her business was just to be, well, the Aunt Jemima or the Uncle Tom in the black world, the black face, showing the world that the Clintons supported, the black population in America when they were selling the black population the cocaine and the crack. All right. Now, I was, a long time ago, and it never ended. And that isn't why I'm talking here today. Mm-hmm. You brought it up, but just to tell you the world that Donna Brazile walked into. I don't believe she knew this either.
Okay, let's talk about the things she said. Go ahead.
Now she does.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, she heard these stories over the years, since the 70s, and like everybody listening here, did not want to believe it. Nobody wanted to believe this. And it's so hard for us to really believe we've been duped for 37 years.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's bringing it in, right? Oh, my God, it's our president and his organization. And it's just, part of the story that Donna Brazile is actually coming out and saying, I've had it. I've had enough. And that's why she did her book. And that's why everybody is scrambling in Washington, D.C. They're running and ducking for cover. This is big, big news.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to bring down half the people that are in the government. And I don't mean just politicians. I mean, think about it. Since 9/11, Mueller was the head of the FBI. Do you remember that far back?
Yes.
Okay, and now he's on a special prosecution team to go ahead and impeach Donald Trump. Well, he's never gone away. In other words, they can't get rid of this guy.
Exactly. I mean, the real deep
but now he's becoming exposed. He's next to go. Comey got fired by Trump, but Trump had a little problem with getting rid of Mueller. Well, Mueller just went ahead and bit his own bullet because he's caught in the middle of this, too. He's caught right in the middle of all this. But I'm going to just say something about Donna Brazile for the last moment. She said, look, in her book, I think it's coming out Monday, but there's a lot of reviews. It basically says this. Had I known all this was going on, I would have never joined the Democratic National Committee.
Wow.
From the very first day.
Wow.
I didn't know. But I'm spilling the beans now for what I know. And here's what happened. And I told you this 3 years ago on your show.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no money that you people are donating to the Democratic Party is reaching the local candidates. It's all going to Hillary. And that's what Donna Brazile admitted in her book. She admits, that through what happened was the Democratic National Committee in Washington, D.C. was $20 million short of money due to Obama.
Yeah.
So now they have no money to operate, and they have a presidential election. So Hillary Clinton steps in and says, look, I'll cover the $20 million. But starting, this is 2015, starting this day, all of the money and all of the donations that come in for the Democratic Party nationwide are controlled by, guess who? Me, Hillary Clinton.
Wow.
And my committee, which is out of Brooklyn. So we'll approve everything for the Democratic Party as of this date. And starting with any money that's raised, the first $1.2 million, $12 million a month goes to the Hillary for Victory Foundation. That's another one of hers. So that meant all the little Democrats that thought they invested $7 to Bernie Sanders or $27 to Bernie Sanders, they thought that money was going to Bernie Sanders. It was going to the DNC and straight to Bernie Sanders' opponent. She admitted that. Donna Brazile admitted it. Now, that's a big problem. That is a very big problem because it's a violation of all of the Fair Political Practice Commission laws in the nation. It's money laundering, and there's supposed to be a separation between candidates and parties under their 503. Either I think it's the other ones are C. It's like a C, a D, E, F. I think that's 503F. IRS,
I have a question, though. I mean, right now, the fact that Donna Brazile came out publicly and confirming, I mean, she's one of the top ranks in the Democratic Party. So it's not like Rush Limbaugh or some Republican host or anything. This is like coming from really behind their walls. I mean, this is really from the inside. One of the most person that was most inside of all this. First of all, I wonder why she found, how she found the courage and why she came out. I mean, many people mysteriously died for much less around the Clinton, mystery. Every time there was some information about some alleged crimes of Hillary Clinton or of her husband, people start dying like flies. So Mrs. Brazile, she went for something that is devastating right now, regardless what will happen, we will see, but just for credibility, because the point is this. I feel so sorry when I see Democrats out there. Normally, we may have disagreement on politics, but one thing I hope we should never disagree. To, let's say, always point out bad things, point out crimes or alleged crimes, regardless which party. When I see many people, we were talking, let's say, other Democrats who I know, and you pointed out like Hillary and all the alleged crimes, they start to bring, but Bush did it, Bush did that. You know what? I said Bush needs to go to jail too. He must be at least charged too. Let's not forget that more evil doesn't justify the past evil. So that's my point. Why you think Mrs. Brazile right now, she went public when she knows that she's now...
Oh, I know why.
Why? Tell me, because I have no idea.
Okay, well, one of her employees, Seth Rich, was shot dead.
Wow.
Leaving a bar at 2 o'clock in the morning. He was 29 years old. And he was, working in Washington, D.C. And anyway, he was crossing the street. He was shot in the back. And they didn't rob anything from Seth. All they took was his computer.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was they found out that Seth Rich had become disaffected with the Democrat. He worked for the, Donna and the DNC. And he was murdered because obviously he didn't kill himself by shooting himself in the back. So somebody killed him. That's murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing they took was his computer. And lo and behold, he was the one that released the Democratic National Party documents to WikiLeaks. He was the insider.
Wow.
And that was pretty much not just a subversive move on the part of the Democratic Party, but it was revenge. And it was a lesson to everybody. If you go against Hillary and you go against the Democratic National Party, we're going to kill you.
Wow.
So Donna's life was under threat of death because it's personal to her. And what she knew is by withholding secrets, you're more vulnerable for attack because you are holding these secrets in.
Yeah.
So you need to go. You need to get up. They need to stop it.
Yeah.
But by coming forth and publishing those secrets, you're no longer valuable. There's no reason to shoot you now because it only is going to draw more attention to them.
Yeah.
And, just logically, they're not going to be able to stop that information leak. And that's what the big thing is.
Yeah.
Stop the information leak. Stop it from getting out there. Her only protection for her life was to publish the information and the truth. And that doesn't mean she's still not going to get hit.
Yeah. Wow.
That might be revenge that'll do it. But she knew if she stood there and held these secrets in, that she was a target. Look, they killed her assistant.
Wow.
And by the way, he had a gold watch on. They didn't take that. He had $1,500 in his wallet. They never touched his wallet.
Yeah.
They never touched his credit cards that he had in his pocket. The only thing he had with him was that laptop, and that seemed to be the only item missing. So they took a bullet in the back, grabbed his laptop. They might have killed him anyway. Yeah. And they left the money. I mean, a real robber, desperate robber, would have, grabbed that $1,500 or grabbed the wallet, because that's what the low-level robbers do, out there to get that little cheap money.
No,
so this was someone that didn't have, robbery was not a motive. It was to grab that computer, one, and two, tell everybody else at the Democratic National Committee, here's what's going to happen to you if you open your mouth. Well, Donna had no choice.
Wow.
So that's why I'm saying this is important that people know this, and I'm guaranteeing you, people out there, they are listening to Luca-Zanna's show.
Question, Ronald.
Because
did you get any letters or phone calls of all the people that somehow they were detached?
Oh, I have one apology from a high-ranking member of the Democratic National Committee, just basically saying, I'm sorry, you guys were right. I was wrong, because I think what he's doing now, and he's covering his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a rather lengthy apology letter to people like me, because I'm not the only one. There were people across the country complaining.
Yeah, but for what I know, I'm sure there are other people out there. You were not just a regular Democrat or party member. You were also running for one of the highest positions in the state of California. You won the primaries in the Democratic Party against your opponent of your own party. And the problem was that they weren't just trying to, defeat you. They were trying to destroy you, arrest you, just because you were saying the truth. Just because
they actually did try to arrest me twice.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't believe it. Remember on the show I mentioned to you that my one of my delegates, because I'm allowed to have three. Mm-hmm. It was a male delegate. You're allowed to have two males and two females. I'm a male. He's a male, and then there were two females. Well, he was my male delegate, and he was with me during the first arrest attempt.
Yeah.
And it was right at the Register of Voters office when I asked him to go down with me. We were shooting a game of pool.
Yeah.
About a block or two away, because I frequent is twice a month, this little pool hall in our town here, and which is visited by guys 65 and older, a bunch of old guys, we shoot pool. Well, anyway, he was down there with me shooting pool, and I said, I got to get this grand over here. And I had it already, cashier's check, filled out. And I was supposed to pay him like $980, and I said, just make it $1,000 and give me the change. I never got my change. But anyway, I went down there and I handed him the $1,000, and the woman at the, thing at the desk there hands it back to me and says, I can't take this $1,000. And I went, well, here. And I had my forms too. I had all my, with people that signed up, signed to have me. You have to have 40 documents with you. 40 citizens that voted for you. Okay. And I had that with the $1,000 to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
She hands it all back to me and says, no, you have to come back and bring them in tomorrow. And I honestly had no idea. I never ran for office before in my life, but she handed it back to me. I just handed it right back to her, and I said, hey, throw them in the garbage can. I'm not coming back here tomorrow. I don't have time to come back here tomorrow. Do what you want with them. I don't care. Throw them away. And I meant it. And then all of a sudden, here comes the, San Bernardino County Sheriff, and he says, we got a call. And I mean within 2 minutes. We got a call that you threw back the paperwork. You threw it on her desk. I said, no, I just handed it right over to her. And I said, I don't want it. Throw it in a garbage can. I said, I don't have time to come back tomorrow. Doesn't mean for me to come back here another day. I can't stand it here. And he said, they said that you were threatening. And I said, wait a minute. I didn't threaten anybody. I said, look at the guy standing behind me, my delegate. He's with California law enforcement for the state of California, not the county of San Bernardino. I said, why don't you ask him what happened? He said, can we step outside? I said, sure we can, because he wanted to get out from under the camera. So then we stepped outside, and we all started laughing. It was set up. I still have the guy's name. His name's Ryan. But I just let it go because I didn't want to become part of my, campaign. I almost got arrested at the Register of Voters. It doesn't look real good for a first-timer, But if I didn't have a state of California law enforcement officer with me,
yes, definitely,
I would have been in jail.
Yes, I agree. They were trying to set you up. I mean, listen,
I was set up.
I was talking about set up here. The problem is, I really believe lately, more than ever, I mean, this is, unfortunately, justice has always been, a problem in general. There's always been corruption in government. It doesn't matter if it's local, state, federal, but I really believe the last few years, even just the last few months, the complete travesty of justice, I really believe, never happened so blatantly on our face. I mean, the fact now that we have people who are committing crimes and they take really nothing happens to them. And for example, I mean, Hillary, this is the fact, right now, Attorney General Sessions completely ignoring, recusing himself to even investigate Uranium One when there is so much evidence that anybody else, we're talking about not just getting, money for personal gain, using a position of power and authority, and influence in the government to get personal gain, but also compromising our national security. I mean, anybody else. I had people here on my show just for taking 3 innocent photos in a submarine. They spent 1 year in prison. I mean, other people, they're spending years in prison just because they were at a rally. Okay, and this woman.
Right. How about this?
What's going on here?
All right. You got me started, okay?
Yes.
This show is about facts. Confirmed by the New York Times. The former head of Russia's uranium company, Ian Telfer, made 4 hidden donations to the Clinton Foundation, totaling $2.35 million. 2, confirmed by the New Yorker. Bill Clinton bagged a $500,000 speech in Moscow, paid for a Kremlin-backed bank. 3, confirmed. New York Times again. Despite claims to the contrary, Uranium One has in fact exported yellow cake, that's the right word for it, out of America and is routinely packed into drums and trucked off to a processing plant in Canada.
Yes.
Which is right across the border from Hillary Clinton's foundation office in Edison, North Dakota. Why would Hillary Foundation have an office in a town that has a population of less than 30,000 people? 4, confirmed by The Hill. The FBI has uncovered substantial evidence that Russian nuclear industry officials were engaged in bribery, kickbacks, extortion, and money laundering. 5, confirmed by CNBC's Clinton Foundation, mega donor Frank Holmes claimed he sold uranium-1 before Hillary Clinton's State Department approved the Russian transfer. His company's own SEC filings prove otherwise. 6, confirmed by the New York Times. While 8 other agencies had to sign off on approving the transfer of 20% of all U.S. uranium to Russia, and I'm adding via Canada, Hillary Clinton's State Department was the only government agency headed by an official, Hillary Clinton, whose family foundation received $145 million from foreign investors involved in the uranium deal from Russia. 7, confirmed by The Hill again, that's a Washington paper. FBI agents already have an eyewitness and documents to support the most explosive parts of the uranium-1 story. The federal agents have obtained an eyewitness account backed by documents indicating Russian nuclear officials had routed millions of dollars to the U.S. designed to benefit former President Bill Clinton's charitable foundation during the time Secretary of State Hillary Clinton served on a government body that provided the favorable decision to Moscow.
Yes.
I told you I was going to do my homework.
No, I'm glad you did. This is good because I want to be sure. First of all, I'm not a Republican, of course, and I couldn't care less. But still, coming from your mouth, like coming from the mouth of Donna Brazile.
I'm a Democrat. This
exactly.
Is coming from my party.
And the only way we
from my party.
Exactly. That's the only way we can take this country when we stop following the orders of these central commanders of corrupted. Doesn't matter what politicians are, Republican, Democrats, they are all the same. They are working together. I mean, the Bushes, they work with the Clintons, and the Clintons want to work with Obamas, and they're all together to create this new world order, global government tyranny. That's not, they make you believe that we're against each other. They just use us like puppets. That's why stop thinking about, oh, I'm a Democrat, I must defend my guy. Stop, please. I mean, I'm so glad you're doing this. Continue, please.
Well, again, I promise you and your listeners only facts. And I have the documentation here that I'll send to you if called upon. You can have it. But, Jenna, if you recall, last week's show.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I brought up potatoes, and I said, please, I implore you people, get involved, get involved, get involved. Well, that was, what was that date? October 27th, wasn't it?
I guess so, yeah. The 27th was last week, yes. The 28th for the show, I guess, but we recorded the 27th.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, anyway, someone ran in to the state of California Senate, and they approved the Cadiz Water Project. And that would have been, this is a project that no one knew about. Okay, a week ago, I believe they heard your show and thought, oh, we better get over there because this is going to be an issue if O'Donnell gets his voice out there. And I'll just begin with the California Governor, Jerry Brown, Democrat. On Thursday, today's Saturday, this will be aired Sunday, sent a letter to legislative leaders urging them to pass the bill. And California Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom sent a similar missive, and he's running for governor. And that was to approve the sale of the water from our desert to California, LA, and Orange County residents. And here's what it says. Shares of water resource developer Cadiz surged 32% in extended trade on Friday, yesterday, after a bill aimed at clogging up its plan to pump water from California's Mohave Desert failed to make it past the state Senate committee. In a blow to environmentalists, and I never considered myself an environmentalist, I guess I am, and other opponents of the project, California Senate Appropriations Committee held Bill AB 1000, known as the California Desert Protection Act, instead of advancing it. So they squashed it. Okay? Quashed it is the right word. This quote, okay? But can you believe this? A Democrat. I'm deeply disappointed that the state legislature is actively blocking a bill to prevent Cadiz.
Yeah.
And she's blaming Trump. One of Trump's administrative projects, totally untrue. Nothing to do with Trump. His name is not on this anywhere. But they're doing that blame game again from destroying the Mohave Desert. Now, they're blaming Trump for this. And in the last show, I said, I don't believe Trump even ever heard of this.
Yeah.
But right away, U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein, a Democrat, said in a statement, yet she voted for it.
Wow.
The two-face, I'm not going to swear on this show.
Yeah.
Anyway, going on. AB 1000 would require additional state government certifications that could stop plans by Cadiz to capture groundwater that it said would otherwise evaporate under 34,000 acres of land it owns in the eastern Mohave Desert. Now, wait a minute. How does water evaporate from an aquifer? Well, let me tell you how it evaporates for you people out there that haven't looked into this, but it makes sense. The roots draw the water up into the plants in the desert, and then the plants, the moisture evaporates. Well, we'll just eliminate that completely by draining the entire aquifer, and then you won't have evaporation anymore. Does that make any damn sense to you?
No, this is. I really believe, as I said at the end, beside greed and profit, that we may, of course, be one of the first layers of reasons why. I really believe the end is the way they will try to implement Agenda 21 or Agenda 2030, because the moment that they destroy our aquifer here, we're going to be like cattle. We're going to be...
They already passed it.
Exactly. No, I understand. It's only a question of time now. They passed it, I understand.
They jumped on it. Look, aimed at supplying water for 400,000 people.
Exactly.
In California. Well, that's 400,000 people that'll never see it in Arizona.
Exactly.
The Cadiz Water Project has already been approved by 2 California public agencies, all Democrat.
Oh, I understand.
And withstood court challenges by Democratic judges.
My question is, Ronald...
Listen, I am so mad. The Cadiz Project will add a new reliable water supply in Southern California and safely and substantially manage groundwater that is otherwise lost to evaporation, and I'm adding the words,
you're right,
from plants.
No, it's a joke. They're pretty much stealing our water.
Cadiz spokeswoman Courtney DeGenner said in a statement after the committee's decision.
Yes.
But then they try to blame it on Trump again.
Yes.
Under President Donald Trump, the Bureau of Land Management in March undid 2 Obama-era directives preventing Cadiz from using a federal railroad right away to build a water pipeline. Cadiz's stock had lost a fifth of its value earlier in Friday's session ahead of the Senate committee's hearing. It's after the bell surge following the committee's decision more than made up for that loss
Ronald,
Stated value has increased.
I need to stop you 1
from
second. I need to stop you 1 second. Listen.
$3 a share to $12.80 a share.
Exactly. My point is one. This is the point. If we don't wake up, all of us, and we start to speak up, regardless the party affiliation, and denounce, evil, wherever it is in our party, it is everywhere it is, we need to speak the truth. That's the bottom line. We need to start to do something. Because what they're really doing now, it is beyond just ripping us off. This is about now the life or death. High desert without water, we're going to be all dead, or we're going to be forced migration to, honestly, that's exactly what they want, pack in these big cities.
Well, water is going to evaporate through you, too.
Yeah, exactly.
When you sweat, you're evaporating water.
Listen to me. My point is one. The focus of today, that's why I wanted to bring you back on the show. I just had you last Sunday, okay? The point is this. Unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, I wish we were wrong. I wish Ronald O'Donnell was wrong. I wish I was wrong every time I bring you this type of very sad information. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know at this point, we were saying the truth. And more important, I hope more people share this information, because that's the only way we can stop it. That's the only way we can stop it. I'm sure, one thing I want to figure it out, in our state of Arizona, our legislators, who knows about this and what they've been doing? What have they done? I mean, seriously, this is also our water from the side of the border. So they are getting
no, it's evaporating. It's not your water. It's evaporating.
Yeah, evaporating.
The trees, they sweat it off. The people sweat it off.
Now, the last thing, Ronald,
this aquifer
I need to let you go in 2 minutes, because I have to put another segment out about Mrs. Cori Merryman. Question. Jeff Sessions, Attorney General Jeff Sessions. I mean, this is like insane. I mean, even Trump finally started to speaking out about it. Why this Attorney General is completely, right now, completely not doing his job. I mean, he's supposed to investigate the Clinton. Seems like this is above him. This is not even him wants to touch him. Why you think? What's going to happen in your mind? Trump is going to fire this session, or we're just going to go back to sleep?
Let's be honest. The bullets that went through Seth Rich's body, the bullets that intimidated Donna Brazile to come out with her book, the bullets, the threat of death that prevails in Washington, D.C., all comes from the deep state. The deep state, the release of the J.F. Kennedy files that show that Herbert Walker Bush was in the CIA and he was in Dallas. They just came out this week also.
Mm-hmm.
All of this is to divert our attention from the truth. The truth is the deep state murdered John F. Kennedy. They have been in power ever since 1963, November 22nd. Herbert Walker Bush, George W.'s father, was deeply involved in all of it, and he was partners with the Democrat, Lyndon Baines Johnson, who happened to be the JFK's vice president. So it was not Republican. It wasn't Democrat. It was the deep state that we all are starting to figure out is not just a conspiracy theory.
No.
It is real. And we've lived our whole lives, because they divide us. The Democrats are over here, the Republicans are over there. Nobody cares what party you're in. The deep state in the Beltway is not a party loyalist organization. They are all about taking the natural resources of the United States of America and selling them off to the highest bidder. Yes. That's all it is.
Yes, they have no allegiance to any country but themselves and the global government.
Or anything. How much do you have? It's for sale.
Yes, and
bring in the cocaine, we'll take it. Bring in what? We'll sell your water.
Yes.
We'll sell your uranium. That is what the Clinton Foundation does. They sell our water. They sell our uranium. They sell anything that America has for sale to the highest bidder. They don't care if it's China or Russia or the Middle Eastern countries. It's irrelevant to them.
Ronald,
The
I need to go to the second segment. Okay, talk about local news here with Mohave County. Listen, I appreciate it very much, and thank you for again sharing this information. I hope more Democrats out there will follow your example and stop following your leadership, but start to follow the truth. That's all I ask, and stand up for America.
Well, I would like a few Republicans to stand up also and stand up for Trump.
Oh, listen, I forget Trump. I say stand up for the truth, because there are many Republicans that still follow their party leaders, or they follow their senator just because he's been elected as a Republican. I don't care what type of, human being you are, but if you follow people like McCain or Jeff Flake, we have, seriously, this is another example exactly what happens on the other side, okay?
I tell everybody to follow their heart.
Yes, and follow the facts.
Be an American like you are, and follow your heart.
All right, my friend. Listen, thank you. I'll be in touch with you. I'll talk to you later, okay? Let me finish this segment. Oh, you know what? Stay 1 second there. Let me get a little advertisement, and don't go away, guys. I have now the final segment. We will talk about this briefly, about this Standard newspaper article about former sheriff candidate Mary Merryman. That is something very interesting. There is a lot of information not clear yet, and I'll try to clear it up. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. Do not go away.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Luca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Luca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Here we go. As promised, I'm here. This is going to be the final part of today's show. The second hour is going to be a rebroadcast of last Sunday. And so the third hour, I'm busy this week. But I need to talk about this article. And I need to why. Because I said on this show, I do not put my friendship first. I put first my what I believe is my duty. I'm not a reporter, by the way. I'm not a newsman. I'm just a commentator. But at the same time, I try to bring you facts, okay? When it comes down to public life, political life, I think we should talk about everything. When it comes to your personal life, I have no business. I don't care what you do, where you sleep, if you cheat with somebody or not. It's none of my business. But when you are a public person, you run for office, I think it's our duty to talk. Now, I want to be sure something. First of all, I'm reading something that is being written by the Standard newspaper. I didn't write this stuff. It was exactly in the Standard of Wednesday, November the 1st, 2017. The article says, attorney, semicolon, Merryman will plead guilty. This is what, according to the Standard, the attorney said. Okay? Then there is the title, or the subtitle, former deputy sheriff's candidate reportedly shoplifted shoes from Kmart. Now, my job is not just to read this newspaper, and you can buy the paper and read for yourself, okay? My job is to verify the information. First of all, there is not been any type of pleading guilty yet, because the fact what it says here, the attorney, according to this newspaper, said, Merryman will plead guilty. So she didn't plead guilty yet. So I would like to find out, did Merryman plead guilty or not? Or more important, she will plead guilty or not? So I call Mrs. Merryman, and of course she told me to talk to the attorney. The attorney, right now, by the way, it's weekend, so they are closed. I left a message to the firm of the attorney, and I hope to have a statement, because the best way to find out, first of all, what happened here, or what's happening with this situation, if really the attorney said that Mrs. Merryman, she will plead guilty or not, is to call the attorney. So I called and left a message to the attorney. And, of course, the article keeps saying, Lake Havasu City, former Mohave County Sheriff's candidate and alleged shoe thief Remember the word, allege. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. We don't have anything yet, but I'm talking about it because I think at this point it's public on the newspapers, and we should talk, hopefully, in a good way. That means, for me, I hope didn't happen. Not because I know Cori or I know Mr. Ed Mack. No, I really feel sad when somebody has to go to steal a pair of shoes, because I think we have some serious problem here. It is not that she needs the money. That's for sure. There is some mental problem. If somebody has the desire to steal a pair of shoes when we know that she's not in a, let's say, a precarious economic condition. I mean, the husband, he makes plenty of money to buy all the shoes she wants. There is some mental problem, my humble opinion. So I hope that's not the case. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I tell you what I know, that I would like to find out from the attorney if really she's going to plead guilty or not, and for what. So the article says, former Mohave County Sheriff's candidate and alleged shoe thief, Cori Merryman, will plead guilty to an as yet undefined agreement with prosecutors rather than stand trial for shoplifting. So my point is, that word from her attorney. That's what the article says. But my point is, she will plead guilty, according to the attorney, about what? For what? The attorney's name, Brad Rideout. I left him a message. Rideout said that the case Merryman landed in Bullet City Municipal Court after other venues, namely Lake Havasu City and Parker, declared conflicts. Merryman previously entered a no guilt plea with Rideout, said a change of plea hearing is being scheduled for November. Merryman, 37, is charged with shoplifting after she allegedly stole $25 pair of shoes from the Kmart store in Lake Havasu in the late of July. This is Dave Hawkins reporting the news. Now, in my opinion, this is still not something really worth to put on the front page, because she didn't plead guilty yet. They are putting out something that it may happen in the future. And I want to verify. I'm curious now. As I said, I didn't have any confirmation from Mrs. Merryman. I understand she cannot talk right now. That's why she has an attorney. Of course, it's the weekend. The attorney is busy right now, having probably some break. But I will hopefully get an official statement next week, and I will follow up. Why I think this is important. First of all, as I said, I don't care if it's Cori Merryman or if it was any other candidate. When you run for the position of sheriff, I believe we have the duty to know who you are. Mistakes can be made. Anybody can make mistakes. I'm not here to judge anybody. The only person who should judge at this point should be the judicial system and, of course, the voters in the future, if they find something was wrong. But at the same time, to be fair, I think we should know the all facts. When the newspaper put out on the front page something that, as I said, before even there was official anything, really, I was blasted everywhere on the front page. I would like to have this information on the front page when there is a final verdict or a final plead guilty, when we know really what's going on. Because right now, this woman is still innocent, because she didn't plead any guilty yet. She didn't sign anything that I know. But at that point, we'll find out hopefully next week. And I want to be sure something. I don't really care at the end of the day what people may think of me, especially there are some women out there that really try to, one woman, let's forget about some women. One woman that she is obsessed. She keep writing me. She blocked me on Facebook. She needs some mental help, in my opinion. And I don't even mention the name. Even she has a little radio show somewhere. I couldn't care less. You're not worth it. The point, before you judge others on our commitment to the truth or my ethics or the way I do business, look at yourself. Okay? Look at yourself. Because the point is, first of all, I'm here. As the news are official, as something goes public on the newspaper, I will talk about my brother if I have to. And I'm not enjoying it. Honestly, I wish I could talk right now about better things. I don't feel, I understand the pain and sorrow that, for $25 a alleged pair of shoes was created to this family. At the same time, it's my commitment to bring every information I can. Because last thing I want to is to have a public person running for office, if she has a problem, if she ever had a problem, and it's not about allegedly stealing for money, even just for mental issue or for emotional issue, she should take care of herself, in my opinion. But I don't know. As I said, I really anxiously wait with all of you to know what the judicial system will bring us. That's why we have courts, that's why we have judges and juries. If they get that far, or that's why we have attorneys that will take care of this in a different way. But whatever will be out, I will be talking here. That's the way. And my job is to talk, give you the opportunity to both sides to say your story. So not just the prosecution or just the news that's going to be published on the paper. I want always to have the opportunity to have the accused person to be here and to say their side of the story. And I really hope, Mrs. Merryman, Cori, you can come here after all this is clear and you can say your side of the story. And if somebody else wants to say their side of the story about her, you're more than welcome. I don't have any type of restrictions and no prejudice here. And I keep my personal friendship aside when it comes to this show. All right, little break. At this point, you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with luca-zanna. I want to remind you, this is pretty much what it's about, the show. It's about, I don't care. I don't need to be here. Sometimes I really realize that when I'm on the show, I can create more stress on my life than not being on the show. I've been talking about the Bundys. I've been talking about the trials. I've been talking about things that many people that were my guests went to jail or faced prosecutions. I mean, some people died when on my show, okay? Don't forget Lavoy Finicum. I interviewed him a few months before he got killed. I mean, this is a real serious matter. I don't talk about football. I don't talk about, Kardashian, other things. Talk about things that many times, many people don't want to even touch, okay? Forget about even the big issue, 9/11, other things. I'm talking about even local government corruption or alleged corruption issues. And sometimes, to keep your friendship when you want to pursue the truth can be difficult. But as I said, for me, the day that I will stop saying really what I think, I will not be anymore on the show. So I always put on the show the facts first before my personal things. At the same time, I want to be fair with everybody. Somebody or something that is been not yet, declared officially convicted by a jury, they're still innocent. That's the bottom line. But when they are alleged, also accusations, we should talk about this too. At least give an opportunity to find a way to get clearance on this. All right, listening. If you want to support this show, please go to www.zanna.us. You can find the links to different things I do for a living. My Zanna Coffee, zannacoffee.com. Download any of my songs on Amazon or iTunes. Of course, put Gianluca Zanna, my new books. Look at the erotic books or poetry. Perfectly crazy. So I appreciate your help. And why I'm saying that? This is the only way I can continue to do this show. I'm not here looking for sponsoring. When you do sponsors, you will be pretty much control on what you can say or cannot say. No, I'm here. You are my only sponsor, my listeners, and I appreciate your help. So please do what you can, okay? Zanna.us, my final website. And if you want to listen to the show, the past shows go to lovegunsfreedom.com. Now, continue with the second hour. It's going to be a great interview about Arizona gun laws with Mr. John Corey Wentling. And final hour with Eric J. Parker. You got to listen to this interview. It's 1 week old, but if you missed it last Sunday, it is amazing. Go ahead. Talk to you next Sunday. Bye-bye.